Hello everybody, how are you? Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? Happy Sunday. I've started making this Christmas stocking and I just wanted to share with you what I've made, and I've forgotten. Let me go and get my Christmas stockings while I'm waiting for y'all. So I wanted to show you, didn't I? These stockings that I've made. I made these years ago. Years and years and years ago. So I've made one of those. They're getting a bit grubby now, but these Christmas stockings, I don't think my kids would be very impressed if they didn't have one of those up on Christmas morning. We never fit all the presents in there, but as they get older, the presents get smaller, don't they? And that one. So four little Christmas stockings. So what I had to do is make it so that you can print out the template at home. So I'm going to put these on my Facebook page. And so we've got a template. So if you've got a printer at home, you can just print out 4 A4 cards and then that's joined together. Can you see? I've just sellotaped it together. So there's 4 pieces. There's a top section, a middle section, a heel section and a toe section. Hello Tracy, hi there. You can make a Christmas stocking. Okay, so I was hunting for some nice material and I've got a chest full of old scraps of material and I didn't even notice that I had this. So you can get something like that to do your Christmas stocking with. Actually, I think this was supposed to be a Christmas apron. It's supposed to be a Christmas apron and some gloves on there. I didn't even notice it was an apron. Maybe I'll make that one year. I've obviously bought it, thought it was a good idea, then couldn't be bothered to do it. Christmas apron. Anyway, I didn't want to use really Christmassy material, but I just used what I had. That I didn't have any anyway. So I'll show you what I chose, which is not Christmassy, but it will be Christmassy when it's got Christmas presents in it. So what you do is, if you draw around that on the wrong side of your material and then cut out, can you see? You cut out, give it about 1 centimetre round the edge of that, because that's where you've drawn your line, that's going to be your seam. And then the other material that I had, I really liked it because it's got little birdies on it, but the way the material was, it wasn't long enough for the whole boot bit. So what I had to do is join on another piece of material, and this top piece of material, let me show you. So like that, and then I joined on this top bit, which is, I tell you what it is, it's what I cut off a set of IKEA curtains. You know them, they're 20 quid for a pair of IKEA curtains, and they're like to fit a castle window. So I had loads to cut off, and what I've just fancied it up. So I'll show you where I'm up to at the moment. So I've joined that bit to that bit. It's really easy. You just put the wrong sides together and just sew it. And then from another bit of the material, I've cut out a little bird because I liked it, but the material wasn't long enough to have it that way. So I've got that bit, and then a top bit. And this bird at the top, right, I've just cut it out. It's not got any fancy seams. I'm not good at seams. I'm not good with seams, only if they're really simple, right? So you can see it's like, I don't know whether you can see it, it's like a zigzag sort of a stitch. I don't know whether there's a special name for that, but you can stitch that on, and then I don't have to worry about the edges. So that's the front, and you can see that I've started putting my little niece's name on there. And I know it's backwards for you, but I'm not going to do it backwards because it'll be silly, just so you can see it. So the easiest thing, so choose your material, and then the easiest thing to do your letters in for your child's name is felt. So I think you can buy this from the haberdashery shop in town, but I think I picked these up at Hobbycraft. So you can get little squares of felt, and you can do them all, you know, alternate different colours, like I've done there. But how you get the letters to be neat is print it out. So if you write your whatever name you want on an A4 sheet on your printer, I use a Adobe Illustrator, but I'm sure you can just do it in Microsoft Office. You just need to make sure your type's big. And I cut mine out. I print mine out, just the outline. So I've cut out all the letters. So cut out all your letters when you've printed them out, and then obviously you've got your little templates, and then you draw around your letters. So I've done one there. That's you'll see what I've done, because I've used these. I shouldn't really use these. I know you should just use a pencil or something like that, or a biro, I don't know, or use a paler felt tip or something. But if you can see, what I've done is I've put the letters onto the fabric the wrong way round, and then draw around it, and then when you turn it round, it'll be, hopefully you haven't got any bits of, well, I will have some bits of felt on them. So I'm just going to cut out that, make sure. So that's my last letter of my name. So I'm going to cut that out, and I'll show you how I get the little middly bits out. So it's very quiet up here. Oh, they're all sat downstairs, getting warm in front of the fire, and I'm up here in this cold back bedroom watching. So they always watch something on the telly that I don't like when I'm doing something in here. Go, you're in your study, we'll watch this that you hate. Right, so I'm carefully cutting this letter E out, and this is a whole lot easier if you use sharp scissors. So these scissors are my fabric scissors, and your fabric scissors should be different to your paper scissors, because I've done that trick before. If you use your fabric scissors for cutting up paper, it just ends up making them blunt. I'm trying to do it carefully. Obviously, you're going to take lots of time and patience on this. Right, so I've cut that out, and what I'm going to do now is I just use a tiny little pair of scissors and just fold it over. So fold it over so you get a little bit of and snip it there, so you can actually get your scissors through the hole. They're not sharp enough. So you get it's so much easier, I'm telling you, with if you've got a little pair of sharp scissors to go around and get the little middles of the letters out. So you can see that when you're doing it on the computer and you're picking your typeface, make sure you use a nice chunky typeface. I can't remember what that was called. So I've got me E, and the thing is, on your you can see that the back of the stocking's just plain. It's just plain blue, because that's all I had. And then this front bit, I want this front bit to be a bit fancier. So you've got to remember all the bits and bobs you want to sew onto there, to do it before you sew them together. I know this is obviously an idiot's guide, but you know, that's the sort of thing I do, because obviously you can't sew them on. And I'm using a sewing machine, and what I've done, where's my pins? So you need to pin all your letters on. I don't know, I'll show you in a sec, and I'll show you what I've done, because I've done my letters curved round. So these ones were just straight up and down, but these ones I've had to do them curved, and I'll show you why. It's because it's patterned material. So you've just got to carefully, you do need to pin them in place. And I'll just, the more pins the better really. Right, so I've pinned that in place, and you'll see that it's curved, that. And the reason it's curved is because I started off higher up, but I thought the main thing that I liked about this material was those birds on it. So if I didn't start right down here, the E would have gone just right over that birdie. And we can't have that, and I'm just going to reposition it because I'm not happy with that. Are you all busy crafting on a Sunday? It's not a going out walking on the beach day today, I tell you. Right, so hopefully that's all right. So I've done all the other letters, and I tell you what I would change if I was going to make this again, because the bluey purpley colour I used to sew that on, I didn't have any pink, so I just used the purpley colour. And if you use a contrasting colour for your stitching, it'll show up your rubbish stitching. So it showed up my rubbish stitching. Right, so I'm just going to quickly sew that on there. I think you can see, can't you? Is anybody there? Hi Debbie, hi Karen, hi Kaylee, hi Anna. How are you all? Right, so, and right, if I can make one of these, anybody can make one, because I've got no tolerance with sewing machines. Right, so you just need to, and do you know what? I don't do it neat. You've just got to, the more time and patience you spend on this, the neater it's going to look. But do you know what I always say? I quite like the handmade look. Do you? And then I'm going to make some dough models, I think, this afternoon. I'm thinking of making Red Riding Hood and Grandma, just while they're all watching telly. I've right enjoyed doing a bit of crafting in front of the telly, especially if it's not something that I'm right interested in. Right. So this is by no means neat. Hi, what you all doing today? And see, that went a bit wrong, but it doesn't matter, does it? It don't matter. It's just not very neat, this, but it's rustic. That's what I say when it's a bit rough. Oh, now it's not even. So I just keep twiddling it round. Twiddling it round. It's a good job I only did one letter on here, innit? Otherwise you'd be dying of boredom. This E's not good, but so if on your felt you find you're better off really using the same colour as your felt, and then it doesn't show up your rubbish sewing. Right, so I've done that, and I'm just gonna do the middle of that E. So I've took the pins out now because obviously it's sewn on. Oh hell. I've just got no patience with sewing machines. I wish I could be bothered to read all the instructions, but I can't. Is anybody else good at sewing? I'm quite good at sewing by hand. I'm just not good with this machine. And it's my own fault. Because I'm always using the wrong needles. My mother-in-law tells me that I need different needles. And I just think, why do you need different needles? We're nearly there. I hope this turns out all right, and I'll show you how to put the hanging bit on. Right, done. So let's cut the bits of thread off, and I'll show you what I mean about my dodgy sewing. So, Elodie. So that's going to go like that. Just got some more bits to trim off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, obviously, right, this one I didn't do any pen on to do the template, but make sure your right sides are facing inwards and then line it up best you can. And you do need to pin it, this one. Right, let's line it up at the top so it actually... So these are the things, the little meticulous things you should do just to make sure it's neat. So it's together at the top. They're not exactly matched up, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to pin it. I know you can't see me. Hi Chelsea, hi Sally, hi Danielle. Well, you'll have loads of stockings to make. But I just think, do you know what? My kids have had them stockings for so many years. And I think things have just, it just makes things feel like Christmas if it's what your little family tradition. So this should be pretty easy to whiz round with a sewing machine. If I can't do this in a straight line, that's a bit fiddly sewing them letters on. You could even, do you know what? Hi! Hi, Isla! You need to get your mum to make you a Christmas stocking. Yeah, and everything, you know, bits of felt and stuff. I always save them. Right, I'm going to go round and I've got a bit of ribbon here and I want that to go on there. But obviously, because this is the wrong way out, that bit of hanging bit, so it's the right way, what we need to do is we need to just tuck it in sort of down like that. So if you want it sort of at an angle, you need to put it on the inside of there. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick it in there, but I'm not doing it now because I'm going to start at this side and go all the way around, and that's the last thing I'm going to do because then I'll make sure I do it get it in the right place. So I'm going to start here, and I have to change. No, that's all right. Length 3. I'll have it. So I've got me line, because if I was a proper seamstress, I wouldn't have to draw lines on things, but I do. I just like it easy. So and I've probably got this the wrong way around, but it's only little, so it doesn't matter. I wonder if it's going to have one of its moments where it all gets knotted up and really I should stop and untangle it, but I just hope for the best and carry on going. So I'm hoping that obviously you need to do it nice and neatly, but I'm just trying to do it quick for you. Has it actually stitched? Yes, it's stitched. I hope this turns out all right. Ah, I haven't seen you for ages, Danielle. Right, so, and do you know what? When you've actually done something and made something, it's just nice, isn't it? It's nice to have. And Danielle, it makes things like you can put all your little presents all in the stockings, and it just gets them up off the floor. Oh, I'd like having hooks on the mantelpiece. I keep asking for a mantelpiece and I haven't got one yet, so I can have them hooked on, all lined up for. I'd like that. That would be very satisfying. Right. I hope this has gone all right, otherwise I'm just going to look stupid. So I'll put on the templates that I've used to make that stocking template. This is one stitch, just doing this. This is my expertise level on this sewing machine. Can't make clothes. How people make clothes, I don't know. If I made clothes, it did never fit anything. Well, that's not quite matched up. Let's see. Right, now this is the point. I'm going to put this in at the top. So I'm just going to loop it over like that, and just bear in mind this is going to have to be stitched on a couple of times because it's going to be taking the weight, and it's just going to rip off if you it's just going to rip off if you don't sew it. So I'll probably sew it 3 or 4 times, backwards and forwards. So I'm just going to put that in there. I'll show it you in a minute. Actually, I'm just going to, because this satin ribbon's a bit slippy, I'm just going to put a pin in it to keep it together, because it keeps slipping apart. So it stays together. Hi. Right, let's see how this turns out. And just remember, things do not have to be perfect. I would like everything to be perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Right. Right. So I'm going to go back down. I'm sewing backwards now. 1. So I'm just going backwards and forwards over that. Right. That should be enough. Let's see. Let's see what this has turned out like. So you can see that there, and I've put it at an angle so that it hangs up, hopefully. I'm just going to trim those edges off. Right, don't forget to take your pins out. So that'll never do. I hope this has worked out. Been doing it all. Well, not all afternoon. Didn't take me that long to make, actually. Right, let's take the pins out and see what it looks like. Moment of truth. And do you know what? I can't be bothered to finish them. I might just trim that edge up a little bit so it matches the other side. And this one. Right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, let's cut off all these little bits of thread. And you don't forget, you know, when you're picking your stocking shape, it has to be quite like chunky so that you can actually get the presents. Take that one out. Oh, I've done it sticking the wrong way, haven't I? Right, I've done it. Stupid woman. Right, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to... So, there is the stocking, but I've done that the wrong way. I've stuck it the wrong way, so I'm gonna unpick that. It'll take me, seeing as I've sewed it in so well, I'm going to take that off and I'm going to put it on the right way round. So let me see where I went round. Told you I was no good. If I can make these, everybody can. Right, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to unpick that. Oh, I've done it sticking down instead of sticking up. So I should have done it, laid it that way, sticking up. So I'm going to take that off and I'll put a picture on for you anyway. But I'll put on that. So you can, obviously you've got to sellotape the 4 bits together, but it just means you can print them out in card on your own printer at home. So I'm going to correct my mistake. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to tell you about was I've got those books. Where have I put them? I've lost them in all the mess. But I've got those 2 books. You know, the dough books. I've given one away, but there's still another one to win. And I'm going to make I'm thinking of making Little Red Riding Hood out of dough. But I want for me to send you that book, you just got to show me what you've been making. That's it. And if you want one of those dough books, there's the fairy tale one and they're like the country kitchen crafts. And I'm going to go and get a brew. And I'll see you guys later. Happy sewing. Happy sewing. Happy Sunday. Bye.